Hello, Karen Buchheim here. The Little Theater of Virginia Beach has asked me to put together this video, which will be called Skills and Drills for Tap Dance, so that we may work on some skills that might be necessary for doing some shows next season that contain some tap dance. And since we can't have our class, which we were supposed to have at a local studio, now that we're in isolation, we'll just try out doing it this way, so that those people who have not had tap or haven't had very much tap can refine their skills, learn some things that they maybe didn't know before, and people who have some tap can also hone their skills. If you're looking for an advanced class, that's not what we're after here. There's many offerings online in YouTube where you can go if you're already skilled in the movements of tap dance. But this should be just a nice, comfortable way for people who haven't had a lot of experience to practice the rudiments in a safe environment where nobody can look at you. There's nobody judging you except yourself, and you gotta let that go. But hopefully it'll be a fun time, and I'll offer several different videos as the weeks go on, and also probably introduce you to the language which is called Tapanese, which is a symbol language I created so that we can almost read tap dance as if it were a score, and it's easy and quick to learn, and you'll probably see some of those symbols in the videos as we go forward. So I hope you'll join us. I hope you'll have a little bit of fun, and while we're isolated, let's tap dance. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over in this particular little piece 5 basic ideas from tap. One of them, first one we're going to start with, is clapping our hands together and just listening to whatever music we're using and catching the beat. So we want to make sure that we just clap our hands and know what beat we're going to be working with. Then the next thing we're going to work on is a step called a stamp. It is a whole foot hitting against the floor. I'm going to do it for you facing the front. Notice how I change weight with every single step, using the whole foot. Then from the side, the whole foot uses the floor. And from the rear, alright. Now when I put on some music in a little bit, we're going to put those movements together, stamps and claps. So we'll be stamp, clap, stamp, clap, stamp, clap, stamp, clap, and so on. The next movement that we're going to use is called a stomp. And it's the same idea as a stamp, but it does not transfer the weight. So if I did a stomp with my right foot, it would be whole foot against the floor, but it would come away. So stomping is sort of like stepping on a bug. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4 stamps at the end. And we can do the same thing leading with the other foot. And a lot of teachers actually recommend starting with your left foot a lot of times, since the left foot is almost like our right or left-handedness. The left foot for most people is a little weaker. And so we tend to practice that which we are strongest at when we should be practicing that which we are weakest at. So don't forget to do the exercise on the other foot, and I will try to do it on both feet so that we get practice with both sides. Alright, so if we're standing on our feet and we're standing flat-footed, we can just take a moment and kind of rock back and forth, shifting the weight from your heels to your toes. And the reason we talk about that is, generally in tap dancing, we keep that weight forward into the balls of the feet. You don't have to have your heels popped way up off the floor. But when we do a step, a movement that's called a step, we only want to hit the ball tap. So we do want the weight to be forward in those toes. So I will do 8 of those in each direction. So slightly on the ball of the foot, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice that this sound is lighter than the stamp. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we understand stamps, which is the whole foot, stomps, which does not take the weight, and steps. The next thing we're going to work with is toe drops. And a toe drop is an action that picks up the ball of the foot and drops it against the floor. It does not take any weight. If I want to change feet, I have to step and change to the other foot. It's like a little pat. Okay, so we're going to do 7 toe drops and a step, and then we'll change to the left foot and do 7 toe drops and a step. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step. 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 And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step. So let's put on some music, and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do a series with you. For those that are just beginning, do the series on the beat. For those that have a little more experience, double it. So instead of being 1, 2, 3, you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and. So you'll be doing twice as many movements as the person that's just starting. Alright, so the first thing we will do with the music is clap our hands. And I'm going to stop here, Jeff, and put the music on. Okay, so we're back. We're going to do our little series with some music. So I'm going to turn away from you. Just follow along the best that you can. So let's clap our hands to the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And stomp. Stamp. Stamp. Now we're going to change to stomps. Okay, so we just place that foot against the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, stamp. 1, stomp. 5, 6, 7, stamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, stamp. I'll turn away and we'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, stamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, stamp. 1, 2, 3, stamp. 1, 2, 3, stamp. 1, 2, 3, stamp. 1, 2, 3, alternate. Alright, good. Now we're going to change to steps. Remember, up slightly on the balls of the feet. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. And hold. Okay, so here we go with toe drops and steps. Ready? Right foot, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step. 3, All right. So what I'd like for you to do is, if this is all new to you, I'd like for you to practice it as many times as you need to. You can begin to speed up your music if you want to find something else to play to, or double up what we have here. I'd also like those of you who have some experience to challenge yourselves to try a little improvisation. If that's something that's not really comfortable for you, this is a chance to get a little more comfortable with it. And what I'd like you to do is just use the movements that we've done so far. That would be your stamp, your stomp, your step, and your toe drop, and a clap. And limited to those movements only, put on the music and just begin to put those movements together any way you want to. Doesn't matter how you do it. Nobody's there to pay any attention to you, but it lets you start thinking about what you want to put next. Do not allow yourself to put in any other movements that you already know. Limit yourself, and that's a challenge to your creativity, that you can take just very few things and put them together in interesting ways. Even beginners can do it, they just do it at a slower pace. So that's my little bit of information for this section of this particular set. So I'm going to turn off. This is the next section of the Introduction to Basic Tap Movements for us, and we're going to introduce another set of movements that we did not include before. We did start with steps, where we had the weight on the ball of the foot, not any weight coming on the heel, as opposite to the stamp, which takes the weight of the entire foot. So steps are really just using the ball tap. All right, we learned to do steps. Last time we did step, toe drop. We did those movements. Today we're going to add another movement, and that will be a ball dig. Digging the ball of the foot into the floor. It's got a little bit more pressure feeling to it because you're pushing that whole ball of the foot into the floor, as before you were just dropping the ball of the foot to the floor. So we're going to do ball step and ball dig. Dig, dig, dig. So I'm going to turn around so you can see it from the back side, which is step, dig, step, dig, step, dig. That's a ball dig. All right, now we're going to use the edge of the heel tap. So we're going to, it almost feels like you're pushing on the brakes of the car a little bit. You push that heel dig into the floor, toward the floor. It's not hammering with the back edge of the tap coming down. It's taking the edge of the heel tap as if you were stepping into that edge. So we're going to do step, heel dig, heel dig, heel dig. All right, and the next movement is another edge of the tap, which is the toe edge. So now we're going to take the toe edge of that tap, strike it against the floor. Now that's not striking as if you're digging into the floor to stay. It is like hitting a drumstick. You hit and release it up, coming away from the floor. So it doesn't have a dead sound to it. It just hits and comes up. So we do step, toe dig, toe dig, toe dig. All right. We learned the toe drop, where we dropped the toe, lifted the foot, dropped the toe against the floor. Now we're going to do the toe drop in another way. We're going to stand with weight on both feet. We're going to lift the ball of the foot away from the floor and let it fall back down. Well, press it down. So that's called a toe drop as well. Toe, 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 toe. We also can take that heel tap and do the same thing. We lift and drop our heel. Now, this is a deliberate action, pressing that heel against the floor. It is not just letting the heel softly lower. You want to hear the heel tap, and that's the entire heel tap. So we're going to take those movements. We're going to take the ball dig, the heel dig, the toe dig, and then we're going to do toe drops and heel drops in this exercise with music. We're going to start out with a repeating step followed by the movement that we're working on 8 times. We'll go through all the movements that way. Then we'll take it down to 4 times, then 2 times, and then we'll repeat at the end just doing the digs and step, and we'll alternate those 4 times. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, heel. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and step, toe dig. Now let's just do a toe drop. Now let's repeat it 4 times. Change to heel. Change to toe dig. And the toe drop. 1, and 2, 3, 4. Now let's do 2. Heel, toe, step, toe drop, step, 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 step. Now we're going to do them all 4 in a row. So we go dig, 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 step, dig, 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 step, dig, 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 step, dig, 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 step. Hold. All right, let's move on to, oh, let me turn the music off, sorry. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the ball heel exercise that I talked about before, where you're doing toe drops, heel drops. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll take that down to where we're doing 4 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll do toe, toe, heel, heel, toe, toe, heel, heel. 3rd time, just the toes and a stamp. That allows us to change feet. Now we start with the left. So now we're doing left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, toes only, stamp. All right? So let's see if we can put that together with the music. Okay, so now we're going to go back and we're going to do the toe drops and the heel drops section. 8 toe drops, 8 heel drops, 4 toe drops, 4 heel drops, and repeat 4 and 4. Then we're going to do 2 toe drops and 2 heel drops, 2 toe drops, 2 heel drops, 2 toe drops, 2 heel drops, 2 toe drops, and a stamp. That will be the end of it, but I want you to go back at the end and start the whole thing over with your left foot, because it's very important that we lead with our left foot. So, here we go. Toe drops and heel drops. We do toe drop, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Heel drop, 5, 6, 7, 8. Toe drop, 4. Heel drop, 4. 4 toe drops, 4 heel drops. Now 2 of each. Right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, stand. Left, right, 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 stand. Alright? So you can pick that up and do it again, starting with your own left foot. Okay, so starting with the ball dig and step, big step, step, big step, big step, step, big step, step, big step. Start with the heel. 2, 3, 6, 7, and step, toe dig, toe dig, step, big step, step, toe dig, and toe drop. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Now we're going to change so we have a little quicker music. Ready and step, big, big step, big step, step, big step, step, heel, step, toe dig, step, ball drop, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we're going to move up to the quickest one. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ball, heel, toe. Ball, heel, toe. Ball, heel, toe. Ball, heel, toe. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Good. Now, that's the end of the first series. Remember to take each little group of elements that we worked on throughout the series, like we did 3 or 4, 5 different movements per little section. Take just those movements and put them together in your own way, not allowing yourself to use any other movements. This is going to help your creativity and your ability to improvise. So I look forward to making another one of these. It won't be quite as hard because the technology part is the part that was giving me fits, but I think I have it figured out now, so I look forward to making another video for you.